welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well today. So if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie Jade and I post over here a few times a week. I also do have a vlogging channel, so make sure you all check that out if you haven't already. But today I'm going to be testing out a brand new palette from Revolution. I actually picked both of the new palettes up, so I'm doing one today and I'm going to be doing one next time. So these are the two new palettes. This is the Dolphin one and this is the Sea Turtle one. They're called Hydra Turtle and Hydra Dolphin. They're so gorgeous, and the one I'm going to show you today is the Hydra Dolphin. It is so pretty and I cannot wait to show you guys. So I'm going to do first impressions of this palette. I'm going to swatch every shade and then I'm actually going to do an eye look with them. So I hope you all enjoy this video and let's get started. So I'm really excited to try this. This is what the palette looks like from its outside, and it's one of the Forever Flawless ones with the metal casing. It is such gorgeous packaging. It also came in one of these sleeves to protect it. And then when I open it up, these are the shades, which they are absolutely stunning and I cannot wait to swatch these for you. They do look a little bit different to what they look like on the website, if I'm honest, but I think the package, once you see it in person, the palette just looks absolutely stunning. It looks so much prettier in person. So what I'm going to do start off with is I'm using my P. Louise base. I'm going to use a darker one today just because I wanted to try this shade out. This is in shade 3 and I'm going to use this to do an eye base. So I'm just blending this out, and if I'm honest, it actually matches my skin tone quite well. So it's more of a natural one. Because I've used my NARS foundation today, I thought I'd use a darker eye base as well to kind of blend with that. Because my NARS foundation is a bit of a darker one, but I do really like it and it's got really good coverage. So now that my eyes are primed, I'm ready. It's fully now blended in and it has blended so nicely to the foundation. I'm just going to get started and I'm going to start swatching these colours. They are so gorgeous. So you can see up close all the colours here. They are so gorgeous. It's got quite a nude, sunsetty vibe to this palette. It's got a few blues, but the rest seem to be mainly a couple of pinks, some oranges and some more nude shades. They're so gorgeous. There's a mixture of mattes and shimmers in there too, and all the matte colours have this little dolphin imprint on them, which I think is totally adorable. So that is my first round of swatches, and some of these shades are absolutely stunning. Like these shimmers are gorgeous. The gold and the kind of orange gold are really catching my eye at the moment. So I may have to do kind of like a nudie sunset look with some of these shimmers. And then this is the second half of swatches. The shimmers again are absolutely stunning. And this dark blue shimmer at the top is so pretty, and the gold shimmers are really pretty. One that I wasn't expecting to be as nice as it is the one right at the bottom. This is a pink shimmer and it's so gorgeous. Also, mattes are a lot more pigmented than I thought they would be. There's quite a few matte shades in there and I thought they'd be quite weak, but they're actually quite strongly pigmented. So I'm such a big fan of this just from the swatches. So now that I have swatched all of the colours, I'm even more obsessed with this palette and I'm so excited to try it out. So I am going to go for more of a nudie pink look because there's so many pretty shades in here. I really want to play with Gulf and Island. They're really pretty orangey nude shades, and then I could use Atlantic to kind of blend out my corner. So I'm going to use some of these. I also need to try some of these shimmers because the swatches I did of the shimmers were absolutely unreal. So I'm going to start off first with Island and I'm just going to blend that into my crease. So the brush that I'm using for this is the Michelin brush, and I'm going in with Island as I said, and I am just going to run that through my crease, and that is such a pretty shade. I'm going to use this as kind of like a transition shade, but it's looking so pretty so far. It's really pigmented. So I'm going to do something on the other eye and just run that through my crease. It's very kind of light but pigmented. It's really nice. I'm just going to keep going with that and just keep running that through. Let's keep blending it out, and I want to use this as kind of a transition shade, so I want it to be nicely blended as possible. So that's currently how it's looking. That's just with the first shade on, so that is looking so bright and so colourful already, and it looks so pretty. So I'm going to grab a different brush for the next part. So I'm going to go in with my Brushworks ones. It doesn't actually have a name, but this is one of my small blending brushes from Brushworks. And I'm going to go in with the shade Seaside, which is the lightest nude. And I'm literally just going to go over the edges there and just buff around the edges with this brush just to make sure they're as blended as they can be before I bring any more colours into it. So I'm going to dip back into that Seaside shade. I don't want too much of it on my brush, I just want a little bit just so I can blend that in really nicely there. So now that it's done, I'm going to go in with Gulf, which is the middle shade here. This is quite a nice dark orangey nude and it's really pretty. I'm going to use the same brush, tap off the excess, and I'm just doing from the middle to the outer corner of my crease, just running that through there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my other eye. And there's not loads of blending that you actually need to do for this now, since you've already blended out with the transition shade before. So I'm going to go in with Gulf again and tapping the excess off and then run it through the outer corner of my lid. So that's what it's looking like, and I do love this palette so far. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Coral, which is a really nice, pretty, pinky, corally shade up here next to the blue. And I'm actually going to swap back to my Michelin brush for this one, because I love the shape of this. I think I got this from somewhere like Superdrug, and I've literally used this every single time I do my makeup since. I didn't think it'd be that much of a staple, but I literally use this every single time I do my makeup, so it's such a nice little brush. I just think it applies so nice, and since it's so thin, you can see it's really thin there, it kind of helps to blend it out better, and you've got a lot more control over where you actually apply the product. I'm going to go in the first kind of third of my lid there with that coral shade and just blending that just a little bit above my crease. And then I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye, and with that coral shade again, tapping the excess off. And this is just kind of add like a bit more dimension and just kind of different shades. And then I'm going to go in with that Seaside shade again, which is a light shade, and kind of just coat my brush in that, so you can literally just see it all over my brush. And then I'm doing the exact same thing as I did before, and I'm blending out these edges. Because I don't want to bring it too high up to my eyebrow. I want to have it as nicely blended out as possible. So my eyes are now looking like this, and I'm going to go in with my cut crease. This is in the shade 2 from P. Louise Base, and I'm just going to apply this onto my crease to make a nice cut crease effect. And I'm going to do like a 3/4 cut crease, so I don't go all the way across. So far this palette I'm really impressed. It's got really nice pigmentation, and it is blending out quite nicely too. So I'm just going to blend these out, and I'm going to take one of my beauty blenders just to gently tap this. And then the same on the other eye. This is just really gently trying to smooth the edges out. There's no like really harsh lines. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over where my crease is and go over that just crease again with the original colours that I had, just to make sure that those aren't lost in the cut crease that we've just done. So I'm going to go in with Island and just do that right on my crease there. And now I'm going to go in with this brush, which is the Brushworks brush, and I'm grabbing the shade Coral. And I'm just pressing that here where the 2/3 of the lid kind of starts, and pulling that out. And then I'm going to get a tiniest bit and just kind of placing it there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with that coral shade. So just pulling it through that 2/3 there. So I've kind of just added some more colour back into the eye look. Now I'm going to go in with one of the shimmers, and I want to use one of the gold ones. I've decided to either Pacific, Salt or Scuba Dive. So I'm going to swatch these 3 again just to show you what they all look like. So Pacific is like a nice gold. Salt is like a rose gold. Kind of like an orangey rose gold, which is really pretty. And then Scuba Dive is like just a gold but a bit darker. So that's the 3 shades there. This one is Pacific, then you've got Salt, and then Scuba Dive. If I'm honest, I think I might go in with Scuba Dive because that's got a really pretty glow on it. So I'm going to go in with that one, and I'm just going to use my finger to actually apply this. And I'm going to start in my inner corner, and if you can see how pigmented that is, I'll zoom guys in a little bit more just for this bit. So if you can see how pigmented it is while I'm applying it, like it's ridiculous. It's so pretty, So I'm just making sure this is applying in the right places and then blending it out the best that I can using my finger. So that is one of the most gorgeous shimmers. I'm so obsessed with that. It's so pretty. I'm going to do the same thing on my other eye with that same shade, which is the Scuba Dive, and I'm just applying that. Onto my lid, and I'm gonna now go in with that darker shade, which is the Gulf shade. I'm gonna take Gulf, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of seaweed as well and just tap a little bit of that in, and I'm just gonna go in this very outer corner here onto my actual lid, and I'm blending that into the glitter, so I'm making that kind of like a darker outer corner and blending it into the glitter colour there. So I'm not going to do something on the other side because I didn't want it to be like a full cut crease. I want it to have that bit of colour on the outside, so it kind of blended a little bit better. So I'm going to use this palette to do my liner as well. So I'm going to use this shade at the bottom here, which is the Atlantic, and I'm going to go in with a thin liner brush. I'm going to use one of my Real Techniques ones. So this is the brush that I'm going to use for my liner. It's so thin. This is the fine liner brush and the number is 311, and I'm just going to grab some of that Atlantic shade. I don't get too much, but I want enough that it's actually going to show up, and I'm just going to start lining from this outer corner and just drawing a thin line like that. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm going to keep playing and keep building this up until it's right. But I love to use a shadow for my eyeliner. It's just the best for me. I really like it. I feel like I have so much control. I'm now going in with that Michelin brush again, and I'm taking the shade Gulf, and I'm just applying that underneath my lashes there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm going to apply my mascara, and I'll be right back. So this is what my eyes are looking like now, and I do want to add one quick thing before I end this video. I'm going to go in with the shade Maritime, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, and it's this gorgeous pink shimmer. It was in the second set of swatches, it was the pink shimmer right at the bottom, and I'm just going to blend this into the outer corner of my eye and like the second half of my lid. I want to blend it into that gold because it's such a pretty pink shade. So I'm just going to apply that on both lids. Just be able to apply that and blend it nicely into that gold. So that is a really pretty colour, and I'm going to add a little bit more onto this lid. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with that gold again, which is the Scuba Dive, and then blend that into the other shade. So it looks so pretty. I love the pigmentation of these shimmers. The shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. They are so pretty, and they're just so shimmery as well, which is absolutely unreal. I'm going to go in for one last time with the shade Island and then the shade Gulf, just to brighten the blending up there. I'm going to go in on the other eye. And then Gulf on the outer corner there. So that is what it looks like. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I have really enjoyed filming this for you. This is the final look, and it has some really gorgeous shimmers in. And overall, I've got to say, this palette is absolutely stunning. It has the most gorgeous shades in it. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I've loved testing this palette out for you guys. If you enjoyed this as much as I did, make sure you leave a massive thumbs up for me, and leave me a lovely little comment to read later on. And you don't forget to check out my second video where I try this palette out here, the Hydra Turtle one. It has so many stunning shades in there, so you cannot miss that video. But that is it from me for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!